Well guys, today is the last day the baby Hemi runs with the 2-barrel. Because the new owner Greg is going to be on his way to look at it pretty soon. I've been working on this. It's 3-2 setup. That was my old intake, some cards we got, and Dad just bent all this stuff up last night, and I got all the linkage figured out. So we're gonna get that baby all installed on here and see if she'll run. I just want to go ahead and thank you guys very much so for being a part of this channel. We're just going to get ready to get this intake manifold unbolted. Of course, we're going to leave the carburetor on it. Kind of a pain in the butt. Definitely one thing you want to do is get your carburetor off, because then you can use a ratchet for everything. So just standard procedure, you know, unbolt everything evenly. And if your intake has water ports in it like this intake does, or a small block Chevy, I don't know if Fords do, but big block Mopars do not, make sure you drain your water before you go to take the intake off. Saves you a lot of headaches in the future. Trust me on that one. And here we get that intake ripped off, and now we're going to try and fit the new one on here, and we quickly discover some fitment issues, mainly the distributor, ground stud, and that old road drive tube, which really sucked. We ended up having to grind the bottom of the intake, or I guess the back of the intake. We removed the road draft tube, but we left it vented out of the front of the engine, so didn't really need the road draft tube. It still breathes out of the front of the crankcase, but that's something that Greg will have to address at that time. And here we're just getting the stud ready, because we're going to have to cut it shorter, which really didn't want to do, but it's the only way to fit this intake. And of course the distributor's in there and it's timed perfectly, so kind of a pain in the butt, just something to always keep track of. Definitely always want to do a test fit before you get your gasket sealer and everything in place. Duh. So I'm just going to leave you guys to sit back, enjoy the music, and watch as we fumble around and try to act like we know what we're doing. Enjoy. Now it's time to get those 3 deuces mounted on here. Of course, I left all the linkage pre-adjusted, everything just right. We're going to get these carburetors bolted down, do some final adjustments to the linkage, which you'll see here in a second. That was one thing I wish I wouldn't have done, because it kind of caused a problem later in the video with the engine starting up at a higher RPM. If I just left the idles alone, we wouldn't have had that issue. But please enjoy the rest of the video. Pour some gas in that middle one. What we got? What we got? We got this little paint can. Paint lid. Why didn't you put it in the squirt can?
Well, because you gave me this cup.
Oh.
Did it go down this air tube?
Yeah, it goes down there. I think that's what that is. I think that goes straight to the float bowl. Okay. Okie dokie. Add some chokey choke to them all. There we go. That problem, we have to make that a little shorter. It's hitting the spark plug wire. Way too much idle for some reason. Alright, let's figure that out. But it ran! So after a few unexpected technical difficulties with leaks from these carburetors, which is to be expected, especially when you buy them from somebody who says they're freshly rebuilt and all that jazz, figure out why it was running wide open. It was a simple fix. The throttle screw was pushing on it, keeping it from returning all the way. Dad's getting ready to put antifreeze in it. He's messing around. I'm blocking his way. Temporary throttle return spring. Boing, boing. But it sounds pretty good as soon as Dad's done getting antifreeze put in it, because that's part of his detail. Antifreeze man. We'll fire it back up. So who's ready to hear this thing? Got it run for temperature. So far no leaks. So let's hear. Well, there she is. Oh, it's sad to see this old girl go now, especially she's looking like that. That's sad. Oh. That is such a cool setup. I don't say so myself. What do you think about it, Dad?
I think it's pretty cool.
The reason why anybody want to know, this is not molded down or anything, and neither is this throttle return spring, because once Greg gets it in the car, he talked about maybe relocating this to the firewall, and yeah, we just wanted to make sure it was returning to idle just fine. No vacuum leaks, no water leaks anymore. At least there were no water leaks, but no vacuum leaks on this setup, thank God. Fuel leaks are all addressed so far. Let it cool down and check it again. It's pretty cool. Yeah, there you go, Dad. Light a cigarette, you know.
Full of antifreeze.
Yeah, it's full of coolant. I think Greg ought to be happy because I'm sad. How you feel about it, Dad?
We're on to the next one.
On to the
Find
next
another
one.
one.
Go find another one. That is a pretty sweet little setup.
Pretty cool looking fuel lines there.
Yeah, Dad got his fuel lines all done. A little reminiscent of the stroker.
That's kind of my trademark, I think.
Yeah.
Call it the triple tree.
That NOS fuel pump still ticking away, working. What was she at for oil pressure?
About 40.
About 40, which is...
And it held 40. Well, after it warmed up and the Thermostat opened up. It's sitting there at 40.
40 pounds oil. 40 pounds of oil pressure is insane for an engine this old. Engines from this day and age, lucky to hit 50. Of course, you don't really want a whole lot of oil pressure on an old engine like this one. Oil pressure is never a bad thing, though.
No.
There she is, guys. Hope you've enjoyed, because this is the last time we may see this thing. I don't know, Greg might bring the car by someday. I really hope he doesn't, because I don't want to see this engine ever again. It's like selling a child.
Oh, God.
Kind of how I view it.
Oh, God.
But anyways, guys, thank you for being a part of this journey from day one when we brought this engine home until this day, in which I always said we're either going to build a car for it or we're going to sell it, and unfortunately we're selling it. So I do appreciate you guys sticking along for the journey, and hope to see you in the next one. Bye. It's amazing to look back upon what we started with and what we ended up with. I appreciate every ounce of support you guys have poured into this, and I hope to see you in the next epic engine build. At least in my opinion, this was one hell of a save. Thank you for watching, guys, and hope to see you in the next one. Take care. Bye bye.
Bye-bye.